morning, Unity. Welcome, family. We're so glad you're here. Would you please rise for our first song?
Let go, let go, let go.
together, lift our hearts up to say, we are joy, we are love.
Your love, let's give it away.
Right here,
Right now,
ooh, what a revelation.
right here, right now. Feel the good vibration.
Right here, right now. Come on, join the celebration.
Just look inside your heart and feel that perfect love right here, right now.
What a wonder you are, what a beautiful thing.
We can feel your presence, no less to say.
We are gathered together, lift our hearts up to say, we are joy,
Your joy, your love, let's give it away. Right here, right now.
ooh, what a revelation.
Right here, right now. Feel the good vibration. Right here, right now.
Come on and join the celebration.
Just look inside your heart and feel that perfect love right here, right now.
Right here, right now. Right here, right now. Right here, right now.
Now, right now,
Right here, right now.
now, right now,
Right here, right now.
now, right now,
Here, now.
now, right now, here, now, right now, here, now, right now, here, now, right now, here, now, right now, right now.
Is it on? Can you hear me? Oh. Hello there. Come on, you can talk back. It's okay. We just had a wonderful song. Hello there. Okay, much, much, much better. So I do want to mention that song we just sang, Right Here, Right Now, was written by our own Karen and Lisa. Karen and Lisa, I apologize, Karen and Lisa. So I wanted to acknowledge that. Right now, I'm gonna ask, but she looked like she might be putting on her shoe. We're gonna ask Miss Iman Holdridge if she would come to this stage. Our beautiful music director is going to be celebrating a birthday. And we just wanted to acknowledge that and say happy birthday, and let's, as a family, sing happy birthday to our beautiful director. Do I need to direct? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Iman. Happy birthday to you. I'm back. So, I love to say good morning, so good morning to everyone. But I am also one that likes everyone to say good morning to each other. So like we do at First Unity, come on, connect with someone, say good morning, beautiful. How are you this morning? So glad that you're joining us. I see you healthy. I see you wealthy. And I see you wise. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. We would like to ask, if you haven't done so already, if you don't mind, please take this time to silence your cell phone. We appreciate you so much for that. And I am greeting you on behalf of our spiritual leader, Reverend John Scott, and First Lady, Reverend Carrie Bell Scott. I would like to also take this time to acknowledge our first-time visitor. We're not going to ask you to stand. We're not going to ask you to raise your hand. But what we will ask, actually, First Unity, let's acknowledge our first-time visitors. Thank you. So we ask if after service you would visit our welcome desk, and they have a beautiful gift for you, and we ask that if you don't mind to fill out a get acquainted card. So after service, when you exit the doors, you're going to go to the left. Someone from our beautiful greeting team will be there to assist you, okay? Are you going to visit? That was a little lackluster. I don't know. I'm going to check after service. So now we would like to acknowledge our online visitors. Come on, help me acknowledge our online visitors. We appreciate you so much for joining us. If you don't mind, please check in with us. Let us know where you're joining us from this morning. Is that all? Oh, shameless plug, shameless plug. Meet us after service to support our bake sale for the choir. Thank you.
Reverend Angie, everybody. Such a wonderful, wonderful human being. How y'all doing? Hey, do one thing real quick. I know she's had you talking to each other already, so it may be like messing with your like equilibrium, especially if you're not an extrovert, you're more of an introvert. But do this real quick. I'm going to ask you to just spread out your arms if you can. I know you have people around you. Make sure you don't slap someone as you do this. Spread out your arms around you. Receive a deep breath in. And let it go. And one more time, breathe in. And let it go. We send love and compassion, humility, kindness, equality, equity, loving awareness out to the world around us. We speak to this planet that is rocking and reeling because of our conveniences. And we say to Mother Earth, we repent for how we've treated you. And we choose to make that change. And we choose to lift our vibrational frequency, and in doing so, bringing healing to this planet. But we embrace all people everywhere, of every ethnic group, male and female, trans, the list goes on of the different labels. We engulf you in this love right now, and you are welcome not only here in this place, but on this planet at this time in history and her story. We choose to tell a new story. And so it is. So it is. Reverend Carrie, if you will come.
Good morning, family. Good morning. Happy Valentine's Day weekend.
Well.
Yes. All right, couple announcements for the week. Our Thursday evening meditation with Reiki is at 6 p.m. here in our sanctuary. This week it is facilitated by Sal. Our text message campaign, we're going to extend that one more week. We've had quite an influx of people who are wanting to sign up. So next Monday, the opt-in text message will go out to those who have already signed up to be a part of that. If you are interested in joining our text message alerts, you can see me in the lobby after service. I'm happy to sign you up. Midday Q&A with Reverend John and Carrie is every Thursday at noon on Facebook Live. We basically just kind of go over a couple different questions that are emailed to us from the community. So if you would like us to talk about something you have a question about, you can send your question to admin, ADMIN, at firstunity.org. Like Miss Angie said, the First Unity Voices are having another bake sale today. They have some yummy baked goods out there for you, so definitely stop by their table in the lobby before you leave. All proceeds go to the music department for a field trip they're wanting to take. Our Spring Spirit Expressing will begin the second week of March. We're going to be going over the keys to the kingdom. It's a 7-week prosperity consciousness building course. If you are interested in being a facilitator, come over here, John, and give them a little bit more information about that. So this week, we are still looking for group host facilitators to lead a group of a small group of people. We do have a sign-up sheet in the lobby. This will be the last week for group facilitators.
You know, one of the things that I think I want to point out about being a facilitator is you don't necessarily have to teach the class. It's about hosting, facilitating the environment for the discussion. So you're kind of off the hook, right? Also, you don't have to host it in your home. Sometimes the library that's close to you will allow you to utilize their rooms. So you can find a Panera Bread. Sometimes they allow those spaces as well. So feel free to really get creative with where you host it, but also know that any tools that you're going to need to lead the group, it's going to be given to you. So you don't have to make some stuff up, and you don't have to necessarily teach. I know there were some folks going, I don't want to teach a class. That's not what I came to do. But if you could just facilitate the environment, that would be great. And today would be awesome if we would have, 4 or 5, maybe 6 more folks sign up to be facilitators.
Yep. And then next week will be when the congregation can sign up under a group host.
Yeah.
Our annual business meeting will be next Sunday at 2 p.m. here in the sanctuary following the celebration service. I do highly recommend everyone attend if possible. We're going to go over some really important information, basically recapping 2024. They're going to go over the budget, basically a lot of the events and celebrations that First Unity has been a part of over the last year, and then looking forward into 2025. So we'd love for y'all to be here. Jesse Powers Live is this Friday, y'all. This Friday at 7 p.m. here in our sanctuary. She is an amazing song artist, singer-songwriter. It's songs and stories from the spiritual path, so she is amazing. Everyone's welcome. There is a suggested donation of $10 if possible. So yeah, make your plans to be here. And then we also have lunch in our fellowship hall. Well, it's light refreshments every week. Everyone's welcome. Donations are appreciated. All right, stay up to date. All campus happenings, guys, at firstunity.org. I love you.
As the praise team comes up, I want to let everyone know in the family, all the music today is all original in-house music. Yes, yes. And it's such an honor to work with each and every one on this team. But I have a special treat for you this morning. Our own Nick Smart, most of you know Nick. Nick is going to sing us a beautiful song that he wrote to take us in sacred centering. Thank you, Nick.
I am divine. I am complete. I am supplied with everything I need. I am loved. I am peace. I am joy. I am complete. And when I feel without, I remember to look within. I seek the peace that flows when I still my mind find that inner light that's always shining through. Yes, I am love, I am peace, I am joy. I am divine. Sing it with me. I am divine. I am complete. I am sublime with everything I need. I am love. I am peace. I am peace. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. Yes, I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am complete.
I am love, I am joy, I am complete. Thank you, Nick, for those wonderful affirmations in that beautiful creative song. And so now let's access that. It's always here within us. So as I open up our prayer or our meditation time, I'm going to invite the bell, that this is your time to go deep within yourself. So for those of you at home online, and especially those of us here together in the sanctuary, making yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. Just noticing the body here in this moment. Maybe noticing your breath. And maybe now, in this moment, is the first time today that you've even paid attention to your breath that breathes you. So just noticing without judgment or criticism, just acknowledging the gift of life, the gift of this air, this oxygenated air that we get from the trees, the plants all around us. And as we exhale, reminding ourselves that it is the trees, the plants, all of the living ecological elements of our planet that absorb our carbon dioxide, recycle it, and reconstitute it as oxygen that we breathe in and out right now. Maybe noticing the feel of your feet as they connect to the earth, grounding yourself here, giving thanks and gratitude for your body, this vehicle that allows the essence, the divinity of who you are to express here in this present moment. Maybe now your outer eyes are closed or at a soft gaze. As you're beginning to notice with each exhale breath, your body is now beginning to relax, to release, and be open to allow the divinity of who you are to freely flow. For some of you, you might access this as a feeling in your body. Maybe for others, you perceive this as light, as energy. However you perceive the energy of who you are, just connect with that essence, that energy now. Maybe resting in your heart space or going to your spiritual eye. Maybe noticing where other places of tension are still arising in your body. And as you begin to notice the slowing down of your breath as you're more relaxed, maybe the softening of your heartbeat, as you're now in this sacred space where you are now safe to go within to the quiet sanctuary of your soul, your spirit. Feeling the divinity, the essence of who you are. Maybe now you're feeling a compassion in your heart. Can you now maybe visualize or sense someone you love very deeply? Maybe it's someone in spirit or somebody across the world or someone right beside you. But can you invite the energy of this individual into your heart space? Maybe it's a beloved pet. Whatever brings you joy and peace in this moment. And from this place, can you quietly affirm, may you be happy. May you be at peace. May you be free from suffering. Stay with this feeling as you feel this radiating out from your heart. Whomever that is will feel this, will know this, because we are always connected energetically in this space. So now taking this same affirmations, now you're going to send them back to you, yourself. Visualize, if you'd like to maybe place 1 or 2 hands over your heart. You're now holding yourself in this precious, loving energy of compassion. And quietly affirm, may I be free from suffering. May I be at peace. May I be happy. So noticing the feel of your breath, the beat of your heart, as you send this loving compassion to you. And from this place now, take this energy, this compassion, and invite someone who you struggle with. Maybe it's someone you know, someone out in the world. Maybe it's a group of people. Whatever is coming up for you now in this moment, can you send this same compassionate energy out? May you be free from suffering. May you be at peace. May you be happy. So continue this on your own for about another minute, sending this compassion to people who desperately need this, regardless of the outer circumstances that they may be portraying. Continue to send this out here, out into the world. Sending it to anyone or any place that needs the light of your divinity right now. And in this moment, feeling yourself now surrounded and loved and protected unconditionally. And whatever fears or burdens may be on you are now lifted as you hand these over, knowing that everything you need is already here. Noticing where there is light, there is no darkness. Continuing to remind yourself, I am the light of the world. So allowing your light to shine as you take yourself into any situation, any place, knowing that the light dispels all darkness. So breathing in now, love is. Breathing out, I am. Beginning to lengthen your inhale, your exhale breaths. Beginning to maybe move from side to side. Slowly bringing your awareness back to this place, this space. But keeping your eyes closed for just another moment. Maybe placing your hands over your eyes as you begin to maybe slowly open up your eyes as you return back to this place. And if you'd like to bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra, pushing your thumbs into your heart, we're going to say all of those affirmations in Sanskrit. You'd like to repeat after me. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And now bowing the wisdom of the mind to the compassion of your heart. May all beings everywhere be free from suffering. May all beings everywhere be at peace and happy. And may all of my words, thoughts, and actions contribute in some way to the well-being of all other sentient beings. And so it is.
Wow. Once again. Reverend Aileen, will you stay with me for just a moment? Just a moment. Just stay here with me. That one line, there were several, but that one line you shared, bowing the wisdom of the mind to the compassion of the heart. Can you feel that? Can you feel that? Bowing the wisdom, no matter what I think I know, I want to move through the heart. Compassion. And if there's anyone that I've come to know who moves with that kind of peaceful compassion, it's Reverend Aileen Curtin. So when we first arrived here over at 46th Avenue, you and I hit it off immediately because I think we were talking about Eckhart Tolle and some other kind of practices. You talked about stillness all the time, and that's really where I love to stay. But we would take walks around that property. You remember that? We'd take some walks around the property, and I think the second walk we took, I stopped. I don't remember exactly where we were on the property, and I said, "Would you consider being the associate minister here?" And you said, "Well, I don't know." I think that was kind of the exact pitch of your voice. "Well, I don't know. I haven't thought about that." You went and thought about it, and you came back and you said, yes, you would. And that's been 2.5 years now. And Reverend Aileen and I met just recently, and Reverend Aileen said, "You know, I've been doing a lot of work for a long time." And she said, "I feel like that it is time for me to have a more flexible schedule."
Yes.
To be able to travel more.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life. Reverend Aileen, I'm going to just move out of the way, but I want to say thank you for the time you've served as associate minister here at First Unity Spiritual Campus. Thank you. Thank you.
Aw, it's been my joy. I'll take it from you. Yeah.
Speech.
But
speech.
here's the bad news. I'm still here. You're not getting rid of me. They think I'm leaving.
They think you're leaving.
So I'm simply just stepping away from Sunday to Sunday, and I've been living vicariously through a lot of you. I've been even a wee bit envious. You share with me your travels. You're gone for weeks, and particularly the snowbirds. And I thought it's time for me in my golden years to do a little bit more of that. And I have family in Kansas City, and they desperately need me now since the Super Bowl. They've been in a real deep depression. So I have family in Kansas City. I lived in Dallas, Texas for 25 years. I have a husband. I have a grandson actually out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And so I've got a lot of people that owe me a bed to sleep at night.
They do. Your
So,
sister in France.
My sister
and
in France and
Ireland.
Ireland, and I have even relatives in Italy and in South Africa. I will say something that we Irish, I can say this, we Irish are like weeds. We show up everywhere in the world. You can go anywhere and you'll find somebody Irish. So I want you to be happy for me. I'm not leaving you. This is my spiritual home. You are my spiritual family. You will see me from time to time.
Yes, I hope so.
But I might be gone for more than 2 weeks, particularly next month. It's St. Patrick's Day.
I see what you did.
And I got that.
She's resigning from this. You want to party on Saturdays. That's what you want to do.
I'm in bed every Saturday at 9:30 so I can be up and bright. And you know what? It's time for me to just sleep in. Party and sleep in. So yes, thank you.
We love you. We
Yes.
love you.
So I'll be still here next Sunday.
Yes.
But after that, I'm going to reset for a couple of months. I have some trips planned, and so
Beautiful.
you'll know where I am, and you'll still know where to find me. So I'm going back into the spiritual support team. So I'll be still here to support and help. And
Wow.
And I didn't ask your permission, Jerry Gregory. I apologize. My Irish sister. I should have consulted you in this decision, shouldn't I?
She'll let you
She
get away with it.
understands. She understands.
We love you, Reverend Amy.
All right.
We love you. I now, though, understand why March. I get it. St. Patrick's Month. Okay. Yeah, a little green beer or something. I will not admit to crying when she told me, because y'all know I don't cry. It's not one of my emotions. My eyes sweat. That's what happens. It's especially on days like today when the air conditioner is sort of working, sort of not working. Have anybody else felt that? And then I decided to wear a thick dress. I don't know what possessed me. I think shorts and flip-flops is what's calling me. Also, look, I don't want to put her on the spot, but Doc Dawn, you knew I was going to have to. Doc Dawn, just wave at us at least, because you're visiting from D.C., yeah? Doc Dawn. So Doc Dawn, one of the most brilliant, intelligent human beings, is a doctor, serves people in the healthcare system, and actually serves people beyond the current healthcare system, because she's definitely thinks outside of the box. But she was not only served on our board, but on our music team. She was also the president of the board. When I first came on board, she and I worked in tandem while she was the president on the board here at First Unity. So thank you for visiting today. I didn't even know you were going to be here. I love you. Just gorgeous, just gorgeous. Okay, now, this last week I got called a socialist because of some of the statements that I made last week. And I said, well, I am social. But I refuse to live under any labels that are just used to negate voices that say something different than the system we currently have. If you think that equality, equity, inclusion, love, and compassion is socialist, then put me in that crowd, because I'm fine with that, whatever label you want to carry. Because the messages that I'm sharing are not messages about politics. I could not care less about the political system of our current world. I cannot tell you how much I don't care. Because what we're doing and what we've been doing for a long time is wrong. It's just flat out wrong. So what I am attempting to do, and actually have decided to do, is to step forward as a voice, a prophetic voice, that stands in the gap. It looks at empire, it looks at the religious bigotry, and it says to both of them, how about you figure out how to really be human for once? How about figuring out how to be divine for once? That's really what I want to do, and I don't want to do it just for myself. I'm not interested in being popular or famous or those things. In fact, what I'm really doing is asking all of us to join in together as one collective voice. We've for too long been looking for messiahal. We think we need a Messiah. We think we need a great leader. We think we need It's not about one individual. It is about a collective rising in consciousness. It's about us all rising together in consciousness, and it's not about the right or the left. Somebody called me a libtard. It was the first, I had to look it up, and it's not in the dictionary. And then other people will say, well, are you pro this or pro that? I'm pro-love. I'm pro-compassion. I'm pro-equality and equity. I am pro-respectful and harmonious treatment of the earth and everyone on it. That includes your dogs and cats. And thanks. So, now that that's out of the way, today is not a political message. It's part 2 of last week's message, the radical power of oneness. Because we've been using oneness in the New Thought, I think, in the New Thought circle, we've been using oneness as a sort of a soft way out of being involved. It's an escape door. It's all one, so racism's not real. We know up here, in the grand scheme, that racism is not real. But down here, that's just a white privilege thing to say. Y'all got quiet just then. All my white friends get a little upset when I say that. To say that racism is not real, people are experiencing it, so to them they're feeling it, and our call is not to ignore it and remain ignorant. It's to look at what is and help to relieve them and lift them up from that oppression. Be a part of making it a better place. I understand that it's hard to understand if you've not experienced it. I get that. And if I need to repeat last week, and for some reason I feel like I need to do this right here, just in case you're visiting for the first time, and right now you're already trying to see if you brought a shot of Jack Daniels with you to ease the pain through this. I'm not saying that you should hate your whiteness. I'm not saying you should hate your Caucasian skin. I have never said to my Caucasian brothers and sisters that you should hate who you are. You didn't pick it. Hello? I didn't choose to be allergic to the sun and translucent if I don't get a little. I didn't choose the freckles. I didn't choose the red hair. I didn't choose to be born male. I didn't choose brown eyes. I didn't choose to be born in the United States. I did not choose my parents. I did not choose the religion that was pressed on me. I did not choose to be born in the state of Georgia. I did not choose those things. I am not saying you should hate yourself. I'm saying you should notice your place in the world and find out how you can serve to make the world a better place from the place that you are. That's all. And if you think that it's political, that is a political statement. It's because the media wants you to think that's political. It's because political groups want you to think that's political, because they prefer to keep these talking points in the divide. I want to bring them into the unity. I want to bring them into the oneness. Radical oneness requires of us that we actually acknowledge the contract that we signed with the universe when we came here. And that's to step into the truth of who we are and help to lift up. Well, we're one, so sexism's not real. Ask a woman. No, I don't mean mansplain. Not to be confused with manscape. I don't mean mansplain. I mean actually ask a woman how they have experienced their life so far. What has been their experience? See, true love and true compassion and true oneness is an invitation to hear someone else's story. Now, it's not to say that there can't be shifts and tweaks in their story, but it's not my job to tell a woman how to feel like a woman, because I have never felt like, man, I feel like, I've never been able to sing that song genuinely because I haven't. So I've asked my daughters, I've asked my wife, I've asked other women, because dudes, let me help you with something. If you don't ask them, you're not going to know, because you can't know through the experience of your maleness what it is to feel like a female growing up in this world. Ask them and then do what you can from your place of privilege to help them where they are. That's what it means to love your neighbor as yourself. Did you know that? It's not easy to love your neighbor as yourself if you don't know what your neighbor's experiencing. Well, homophobia is not real. First of all, most of the people who say that also don't even understand homosexuality. And if you've never experienced same-gender attraction, then you don't understand what they're experiencing, you don't understand how they see the world, and you will not understand it until you talk to them, until you befriend someone. I'm so tired of hearing stuff like, well, I have black friends, so I'm not racist. Well, I have gay friends, so I'm not homophobic. You really need to get close proximity with somebody, and you'll find out how they feel and what they experience. They'll share it with you, and your compassion will grow. Should we rise above all of the labels? Yes, we should. And that's what spirituality is about. But also spirituality on a grassroots level, on a 3D level, is asking us to ask the question from a place of compassion so we can understand where others are coming from and who they are. You can't learn to love someone that you don't understand until you first open your heart enough to ask. We have more ways than ever in the history of the world to connect, and we're disconnected as we've ever been. And what are we going to do about it? Well, radical oneness, a radical power of oneness invites us into some feelings about that. And let me share these with you. First, here's a quote from Marianne Williamson. Love in your mind produces love in your life. This is the meaning of heaven. Fear in your mind produces fear in your life. This is the meaning of hell. Out of inspiration from that, I wrote this. Openness in your mind produces compassion in your life. This is the meaning of heaven on earth. Separation in your mind produces violence in your life. And this is the meaning of hell on earth. So we're talking about radical power. And the word radical simply means it is an action especially relating to or affecting the fundamental nature of something. Being radical means we are affecting something in a fundamental way. We're working to reach far and to affect thoroughly when we talk about being radical. When we talk about power, power is the capacity or the ability to directly influence the behavior of others or the course of events. But don't mistake greatness for power or power for greatness. Just because we have some big mouths running their mouths all over the place about the power that they have, that, my friends, is pseudo power, and it's not greatness. Greatness is defined by lifting others up with the position that you have, not by holding people down with your oppressive behavior and activity. Greatness is not about your power. Greatness doesn't lead you to have to name bodies of water just because you want to be able to stamp yourself at time in history or herstory. Greatness is not about flexing your muscles in public. Greatness is about how you lift others up and how you make a difference for the better in the world. That's where greatness comes from. And every great leader throughout time has operated from that space. They operated from love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. Radical oneness invites us into greatness in spite of or also as a result of your power. Power is the capacity or ability to directly influence the behavior of others. So oneness will influence our behavior and change the course of events. Radical oneness will move us from a power struggle into our divine power and then into the creation of a better world. Let me stop right here. Side note. Our world, something I felt like I needed to share with you today. Our world has never been as great as it can be. And when you start hearing about making something great or good again, it's because somebody has a poor sense of leadership, because leadership doesn't take you back. Leadership takes you forward. Now, that's not a pot shot at a particular politician. That's just speaking into the reality that we are in a better place. We are a better place in many ways than we have been ever, but we have never lived up to liberty and justice for all. But let me point something out. The systems of our world in every country on the entire planet have never reached the place I'm talking about. And people will say, oh, that's just utopia. You can't expect people to live love every day. You can't expect people to live in peace every day. You can't expect everybody to be wealthy and have everything they need. Really? You've bought the bill of goods and you paid dearly for it, my friend. They have impoverished your mind. Because it can happen, but it will only happen when we decide collectively to make it happen. It can happen. But our systems have been built on big I's and little U's. Our system has been built. Our country was built on the blood-stained grounds of the Native Americans. Foundations built right on top of their blood. And some their bodies. Are we able to get real today? And it was built, the bricks were laid by the back labor of slaves to build this great country. Friends, we have bought into a line, and it is time for us to resurrect ourselves and wake up. Take that IV of drug out of your arm and realize that the world has never been the way it can be. Come together and create a new world. Let's stop trying to build on a system that was built on destruction to start with. Let's erase and obliterate, dismantle that system, and move forward toward a bigger, better vision and version of God and self and country. Radical oneness is a mentality, and it is a mental state that erodes and eradicates systems of oppression and suppression. And it leads healing from a mass depression. We've been in a mass depression. The thing is our system keeps you sick, scared, and separate. Sick, scared, and separate. Sick, scared, and separate. Because when you're sick, you can't think straight. When you're scared, you can't think straight. When you're separate, you're not operating in the divine, so you have to find a common enemy. And they have found that because of this drug, whoever they are, have found that because of this drug that's been mentally implanted in our souls, that when they keep us scared and separate, they make us come together around a common enemy. And they find that it's easier to get people to come together around a common hatred than it is around a common love when you're under the stupor of the drug that's been injected into the arm of humanity. Religion has helped to administer the drug. I'm going to say it one more time. Religion has helped to administer the drug. It's done it from the platform. Wherever there's a place where somebody tells you that you were born at a deficit and that something is wrong with you from the very beginning just because you were born, that's a false religion, and it needs to be wiped out of our society. So leads me to this. Be cautious of any religious or political or spiritual movement that views the world as a battleground filled with enemies to fight, rather than a community of neighbors to love, embrace, and care for. I don't know about you, but when I was being raised up, I was being raised to be in the army of God. Anybody else heard that terminology? At youth group, they taught about the army of God. We sang about God's got an army, not afraid to fight. Soldiers of the cross, children of the light. An army? I'm going to whisper something to you because I don't want anybody to get upset. If your God needs an army, your God's too small. God is omnipotent, all-powerful, and all-knowing. Now let me sign you up to be in his military force because he's got enemies you need to fight. And in the next breath, God will fight your battles for you. Can you hear the weirdness of our equilibrium has been knocked off by bad religion. Everybody okay? You still good? All right. Listen, let me say, another side note. I like these a lot. You don't have to agree with anything I'm saying today. I want you to know that. I make no requirements. I'm not going to hug your neck any differently if you disagree. I'm not going to shake your hand any differently. I'm not going to dislike you. You draw a circle to push me out because you don't like me anymore. I'm going to draw a bigger circle to draw you in, and I won't even tell you. You'll just be in the circle. Be wary of any system of government or religion that believes that you should, or a religious group that believes you should use the government as a divine punishment tool while ignoring its potential to be a wellspring of mercy, generosity, and compassion. True spiritual awakening strives on love and understanding instead of division and hostility. It does not thrive on incarceration and deportation. That is the instrument of tyrants. That is the instrument of those who would exclude and who are living in separation. Everyone is your kinsman and kinswoman. We are all one. We express differently. We have a diversity of colors and types and stripes, and we show up differently, and our cultures are showing up in diversity. But this is all the beauty of the one God expressing itself in its beautiful different colors and shapes and types. But we're all connected. In fact, did you know that race was not even a thing? It was not even a thing until a few hundred years ago. They didn't even use the term race. But now the word race has been weaponized to try to create further division. Now see, side note, I love the United States of America. I'm not dogging it. I love it. I'm not saying it's worse than anywhere else, but I will tell you this. I do believe that by the United States of America, we've been lied to about the rest of the world. We've been led to believe that the rest of the world are just, I won't use the term, but some kind of something whole. Fill in the gaps. We try to make the rest of the world look bad. Look, every continent on this planet, every place in this world was created by the same God. And that same God that is your father, your mother, your parent, is the mother, father, parent of everyone on this planet. That means whether you like it or not, they're your siblings. That's right. The Mexicans are your siblings. Those black folks that you're friends with are your siblings. Those gay people, the gay people that live next door, they're your siblings. The ones who have those rainbow flags, you know what I'm talking about? They're your siblings. The Republicans does that hurt somebody? Are your siblings. I'm an equal opportunity offender today, so just hang tight. Those Democrats because none of those labels account. None of them are higher than the label that God has given all of creation when God said, it is good. But here's the thing. Oneness is not an escape from your privilege and an escape into your privilege. It is a radical way of being and living. Radical oneness is subversive to this current government and the way it has been structured and to the current religious structure of our world. Radical oneness, the oneness I'm talking about, it is dangerous to those who depend on division and hatred. It is subversive to those who wield power through fear. Radical oneness is a revolutionary and evolutionary system that it actually revolutionizes it and dismantles a system that's been propped up by illusion and separation. So last week we talked about our work not just being personal but collective. We talked about our evolution not just being biological, although let me say this, another side note. Biologists are finding out that the human DNA is changing. You know why? Because we already know within us if we don't evolve, we become extinct. And the earth itself is groaning for the revelation. Oh, can you hear the prophecy there? The earth itself is groaning for the revelation of the children of God. Out of this fire, this trash can fire that we're seeing in the world, out of that fire is going to rise a new phoenix. Out of that fire is going to come forth a group of people who have been tried by the fire, and all of the dross has been burned away so that their gold can show. Out of this horrific, chaotic experience that we're having in the 3D world, we're going to rise up above it. It's going to cause a separation in the planet so that we can see the difference between the goat and the sheep, but those goat and sheep are not human beings of certain groups. The goat and sheep is the lower mind and the higher mind being separated from each other so that the truth can be revealed. We've been calling them aliens because they're visitations. We call them aliens. Let's stop calling them aliens. Let's stop calling them aliens. These are visiting spirits. We're surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. We're not talking about E.T. and Star Wars here that's been made up in Hollywood. We're talking about actual entities that are working with us as the cloud of witnesses to literally upgrade the human experience. It's only a UFO because you don't know what it is. Unidentified. Okay, all right. Our evolution is not just biological, it's an expansion of our consciousness. Can you feel this in your bones? Can you feel that there's something shifting? Can you feel that there's something being sifted? Can you feel it? I mean, if you can't feel it, if all you feel is anger today, or you feel dismayed by this message and all of those things, please know this. Please know that's fine. I am not, listen, the scripture says in the book of Revelation, to the ones who have ears to hear, let them hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. And if you don't hear it, that's cool. Not everybody's into jazz music. And not everybody is ready to wake up to a particular different reality, and I understand it. There's some folks who go, "Whoa, Lord, I'm just too tired for a revolution." You know how many people I've had tell me that, baby, I'm just too tired for revolution. And you know what my response is? Compassionately, that's cool. Let me pull the comforter up just a little higher so you don't get a chill while you sleep. And I don't even mean that sarcastically. I mean that truthfully. Through grace and through love and compassion, pull that comforter up. But don't stay stuck in that dark room. Move out into the light. If you've been called to be a part of this awakening and this quaking and this shaking, move out into it, baby, because you are not going to be by yourself. So, last week we said that radical oneness destroys the ignorant and weak fear-based view of God. We said that radical oneness redefines diversity, identity, and individualism. In fact, we said last week that individualism is an illusion. That you're just in this by yourself, it's just you. As long as I don't hurt nobody, it don't make no difference. You are a ripple effect in the whole planet. You are connected to everybody. Everyone that you come in contact with, your aura is going to be experienced by them, even if you just walk by them in the store. This is one of the reasons that we know that when we raise our vibrational frequency to love, joy, and peace, we can literally bring healing to people at the grocery store without saying a word. I, for one, am ready for that. I want people to experience my aura to such a degree that it literally can cause cancer to dry up, and it can cause people who are crippled to get up and walk. I'm not done with upgrading myself until I can see those miracles happen. In fact, I am not done until I can see a new world being born. I'm not going anywhere until I can see it. Now, let's take these three radical implications And how many will give me 2 more minutes? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right. You put your hand up. Let's take these implications and let's turn it toward a more broadly human condition. Let's move this toward a more collective view. So if we are going to be in agreement that radical oneness destroys the ignorant and weak fear-based view of God, if we can come into agreement that radical oneness redefines diversity and identity and individualism, and that the radical oneness transforms our purpose, then radical oneness destroys systems of oppression, and if it does not, it's not radical oneness. And while we sit in our comfortable spaces, today may be a little less comfortable because it's a little warm. As we sit in our comfortable, cushy places and we have nice meditations and we sing nice songs and we cry nice tears and we feel this sense and hear that everything is all right, if we don't take this out into the world to create a space where oppression is being lifted off of people, then we're committing spiritual malpractice. We're more interested, man, I was going to say something there. I think I'm going to go right past that. We're more interested in our own spiritual pleasuring than we are in creating a better world. We want to come into church, spiritual community, and we want to say, bless me, God. I want to feel better. I want to feel better. I want to feel better. Give me that fix. But we're not sure we want to affect change on the world. Am I talking to anybody today? I hope some of us are feeling uncomfortable because in our comfort we've fallen asleep while we've been saying we're woke. That's another word actually that's been weaponized too, by the way. If woke means I'm compassionate and loving and care about everybody, then go ahead, call me woke. I'm good with that. Radical oneness destroys systems of oppression. Now, I'm going to read through these because I've been sitting with this and writing this. Something's going on with me writing. Laura Banks, you've been cornering me about writing and finishing some things, and I'm working on some things now, yeah. So I started writing at Easter of last year, and this is what I've been sitting with this week. If all people, all beings, and all of existence are the expression of the same divine consciousness, then any system that divides, exploits, or oppresses others is fundamentally false. Racism, sexism, classism, homophobia, all forms of discrimination are illusions, and they are therefore false. And if you remain in that which is false, you will become toxic. And if you remain in toxicity, you will become diseased. And if you remain in dis-ease, it will be your demise. They're all built on the lie of separation. So colonialism, imperialism, they all collapse under the weight of radical oneness. Because both depend on the false belief of superiority and hierarchy, which cannot stand in the light of true oneness. Goes on to say, economic injustice is unnatural and evil. And if we're truly one, then hoarding up wealth at the expense of others distorts divine flow. Now, we've been led to believe that which is unnatural is totally normal. It's not. I tried to come up with some more fancy words for that. And all I can say is, it's not, with multiple explanation of it. And in all caps, I guess that means I'm yelling. Anyway, it's not normal. It is not natural. Well, it's been normalized, but it is unnatural. A world built on radical oneness would dismantle hierarchies of power that benefit the few at the expense of the many. This is why New Thought, in particular, is deeply subversive, because it challenges the very belief systems that uphold oppression and suppression, which leads to depression. Number two, Oneness shifts power away from external authorities and goes back to the inside. As my lovely Bishop Carlton Pearson used to say, if you don't go within, you'll go without. If divine consciousness is equally present in all beings and no one holds a monopoly on the truth or wisdom or power, this directly challenges, and here they are, religious institutions that claim exclusive access to God. This challenges governments that rule through hierarchy, division, and fear. This challenges economic systems that benefit the few while exploiting the many. This is why oneness is a threat to political and religious institutions that thrive on control. And I'll say this, every great leader throughout time, not powerful maybe, but great leader throughout time, including Jesus, including Lao Tzu, including Siddhartha Gautama, Malcolm X, Cesar Chavez, Gandhi, Dr. King, Harriet Tubman, they all understood and they learned that if you take dominion over your mind, you will remove the dominion of the governments and the society around you. That if you take dominion over your mind, you will take your power back from the external forces, and it's more doable as you renew your mind. So stop being conformed and confined by this world and be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Free your mind. Free yourself from the slavery. A free mind should be celebrated, but it's rarely even tolerated by the systems of our world. When we fully embody oneness, we emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, as was told us by the prophet Bob Marley. Number 3. Oneness demands a radical evolutionary approach to justice. Can I say that one more time? Radical oneness demands a radical and evolutionary approach to justice. If no one is separate, then no one's your enemy. Can I say that again? If no one is separate, then no one is your enemy. This is why Jesus says to love even your enemies. This is why Dr. King said, I've reached a place in my life where I no longer have enemies. I may have opponents. We may oppose each other, but I'll never see an enemy, because an opponent is someone you can joust with, but an enemy is someone that you must take out. So if we're all in oneness, then there's no enemies. This destroys traditional justice systems based on punishment, retribution, and exclusion. Where you see punishment, retribution, and exclusion, you're not seeing the divine. Can I say that one more time? Think about it. In any system, think about it. Where you're seeing punishment, retribution, and exclusion, you are not seeing the divine. Whether it's classism, racism, homophobia, sexism, whatever the ism may be, if you're not seeing oneness and unity and harmony and respect for all people, you're not seeing the divine. Now, this may step on some toes, but you should have wore steel toes today, maybe. Prisons and punitive justice systems lose their legitimacy under radical oneness. Justice is restorative, redemptive, and it is all about healing and reconciliation. Instead, it's being used as an extension of Jim Crow. Here in the United States of America, we have more human beings incarcerated than all democratic nations in the world combined. We don't rehabilitate here. We warehouse because it's big business. And the more human beings you have incarcerated, the better your business is. That's why we privatize the prison system. You think racism's not real? Look at the prison system. It was a system, because they could no longer publicly have Jim Crow laws in place. They created crime bills, signed them into legislation, and began to incarcerate our black and brown brothers and sisters at numbers that are absolutely ridiculous. In radical oneness, war becomes indefensible. going to war with each other. I see people talking about civil war right now. Did you know there's nothing civil about war? Did you know that war, any war, even though sometimes it may feel like it might be, you would think it's the only way you can do it. Folks, there's got to be a better way. I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but we have all been raised in a system that has hypnotized us to believe that war is a solution. When war is just big business. War is big business. My whole life, I don't know of a time in my entire life where we have not been in some kind of conflict somewhere in the world. Now, I'm just a young whippersnapper, 47 years old, but it seems to me that we've bought into the hypnosis that that's just the way the world is. And it's not. And now we're trying to run whole groups of people for a second time out of their rightful place in the world. To build a resort? Y'all getting quiet now? You say he's getting political. No, I'm talking about the fact that we have dehumanized the planet and we've been lied to about it. Our Native American brothers and sisters, they teach us this in one of their wonderful proverbs where they say even the trees know that they never have branches fighting amongst themselves. We know that war is wrong. It's unnatural. It's unnatural. When we harm another, we are harming the collective self. I'm going to make a statement here, and wherever it sets, it sets. The United States of America has been a mass murdering war machine of terror for far too long. Oh, I know what'll be awesome. We'll come into your country and we'll force you to be free. We'll force you to do it our way, attempting to colonize the whole planet. Whew. All right, I'm almost done. Thank you. Oneness causes restorative justice. Because restorative justice becomes the only valid approach when we're living in oneness. A world built on oneness would seek to abolish mass incarceration. It would seek to abolish capital punishment. And it would cease to abolish violent deportation and war. Instead, it would prioritize healing, reconciliation, responsibility, respect, harmony, and accountability, because that's what oneness does. In a time when division is so needed by the current system that thrives on division, oneness is actually open rebellion. And if that's the case, not necessarily the views of the leadership of First Unity Spiritual Campus, the staff, or the volunteers. If that's the case, then I too stand in open rebellion. Because I believe oneness is the answer. Now, are you prepared to be a part of a radical message that does not call for the harm of others? Not even those we believe we're opposed to. There are some groups in this country and in this world that I cannot for the life of me understand how they think the way they do. But they're also my brothers and sisters. Are you ready for a radical message that is able to be in the room with those who consider you their enemy and still exude love to them? Are you ready for a radical message that's able to speak out about the things that you disagree with without calling for the harm of those who are doing that? Because that's radical. Most of us want to respond to bring harm to those who are bringing harm. Can you see the insanity of that? I'm going to ask you again. Can you see the insanity of that? Let's harm the ones who are harming. Oh, that's double harm. Well, let's harm the ones who are harming the ones. That's triple. Before you know it, it's a burger you can't even eat. It devours you. Are you ready for a radical message that is transformative? Do you dare to proclaim your oneness in the face of division and othering and fear that's running through the airwaves? Are you ready to stand in a radical oneness that says from the church house to the White House, we need abrupt and immediate change that is for the betterment of all people with a capital A, capital L, capital L, all people. New Thought's principle of oneness is not just spiritual comfort. It's a radical, subversive, and transformative force. And it demands that we dismantle injustice because it's an illusion of separation. It demands that we restructure society because hierarchy is false. And it demands that we transform our consciousness because true power is within us. Divine action is what's being called for right now. Yeah, it's audacious and rebellious and revolutionary. You know, I can hear my dad right now. When I was like 11 years old, and I remember saying to him, now let me get this right. All those Ethiopian people on that infomercial who are starving to death are going to die and go to hell. So they're living in hell, and they're going to go to hell because if they don't say the right word, they're going to hell. My dad was like, everybody gets a chance. I said, that's not enough for me. Can you go a little further with that explanation? Everybody's going to get a chance. I don't understand. Dad, I don't understand. You told me that God is a God of love. How can a God of love allow them to be in this kind of hell right here, right now, starving to death, and then die and go to hell for eternity in a customized torture chamber that God made? And his words were, son, you're just being rebellious. Now, I understand he was frustrated with me because it's not hard to get frustrated with me sometimes. And I'm saying that this oneness that I'm talking about is not passive. It's audacious, it's rebellious, it's revolutionary. And it calls us to not just believe differently, but to start to live differently. Actively every day, activating this oneness. The time for weak, actionless talk is over. And it's time that we took righteous action to stand in the gap as a prophetic movement of change in our world. We're being called to live. Here it is. Some people will say, okay, so you've said all of that. You've said that the system is broken. Now what do we do? Here's what we do. We're called to live in radical love. Please hear what I'm saying. When I say radical love, I'm talking about digging into the deepest part of your soul and finding out in those spaces who you cannot seem to love and exercise your love muscle. That's radical love. For some of y'all, that's Kamala Harris, and for some of you, that's Donald Trump. Whichever one you need, go in and try to find them. Because if they are irritating you, it's because they're trying to create a pearl out of you. Go find them, expand your love, radical love. I just made everybody feel uncomfortable, didn't I? The next one is radical solidarity. The next one is living in radical, fearless truth, and then in compassionate action. And lastly, in the creation of a new world built not on fear and exclusion, but on love, joy, and peace. Let's stop repeating history and instead tell a new story. Let's stop being steeped. Look, if we don't face our history first, we're never going to change it. There's still folks trying to run from it. It didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. I didn't have anything to do with that. Face it or you won't change it. But once you faced it, you can change it. Let's stop living in a perpetuation of history and let's tell a new story. Let's make his and her story. My friends, at the end of the day, if you can't do anything except for start with this simple belief that I am one with you, whether I like you or not, if that's all you can do, out of the messages that you've heard the last 2 weeks, if that's all you can do, is be able to say within yourself, I am one with everyone. And start to say it until you can feel more comfortable with it. Start to say it until you can actually feel a sense of compassion for those that you have looked at as an enemy. If that's all you can do, compressing everything down that's been said over the last 2 weeks. If all you can do is say, I want to be able to sense that oneness, that's enough. If that's all you can do, take that one step to believe that you're one with everyone. And then secondly, believe that the world can be better. It doesn't have to be this way. But if we don't break the cycle, it's going to continue to be this way. Some of us have become so comfortable with an abusive system. Stop it. Let's break ourselves free from this abuse. Let's heal the trauma. And we'll release ourselves from the drama of this endless cycle of abuse. Holy presence, pure spirit, we bow the wisdom. I'll say it this way. We bow what we think our head knows to the compassion of our heart that knows the truth. Open up our hearts. May we live through the heart so that we can renew the mind as we move into this next season of creating a new world. Give to us a massive infusion of compassion, love, joy, and peace. In the name of the nature of the indwelling pure presence, I pray. Amen. And so it is. And so it is. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. If there's any emails that need to be sent, send them to mine. It's RevJohnScott@firstunity.org. RevJohnScott@firstunity.org. Don't send it to any other staff members. Send it to me. I'm speaking to you from my heart, okay? And I love you so much. Thank you for being a continued supporter of this community. Thank you for being a sustaining partner with this community. The ways to give are going up on the screen right now. Consider being a sustaining partner if you have not been up till now. This is the time that we're going to practice our generosity. Also, we're going to practice the law of circulation. I believe that when we give, we do receive. It's like breathing. You breathe in, and before you are able to receive another breath, you must give back. And the same is true for this natural flow of the circulation of money. Money is not magical. You're the one who's magical, but what you do with the money becomes magic to you. So go ahead and receive in your heart the belief that abundance is natural, and then give out of that abundance. The ways to give are going up on the screen right now. Multiple ways to give. You can give by, of course, text. You can text to give, and I believe the number's going up on the screen now. You can also, let's see, I'm going to have to look at this over here. And let's see it on my confidence monitor. You can go to First Unity, to the First Unity app, and you can click on the yellow heart. You can also go to First Unity, I believe that's .org/give. And in that space, you can choose to give on a subscription basis if you want to give on a regular basis. Also, you can mail in a check or money order to our P.O. box. You can use our Cash app, which is really easy to use, and all of this is secure. You can also use the QR code that's coming up on the screen, as well as the QR codes that are on the plates as our ushers are getting prepared to receive the offerings now. I'm going to ask Reverend Aileen, if she will, to come and to lead us in our abundance prayer. I love you so much, Reverend Aileen. Thank you for being you.
Thank you. All right, let's stand. We know what to do. Let's stand and boldly declare together. The abundance of God is my infinite source. I now open my mind and my heart to give and receive all God's good, all God's prosperity, all God's abundance, as God as my source. All things are possible, and so it is. And thank you, ushers.
together. Love is who I am. Gratitude is my attitude. Abundance is my nature. Well-being is my birthright. Now go and have a blessed day. Why? Because you